Welcome to a segment of Flow with Tarot. I should say, welcome to this sleepy segment of Flow with Tarot. I feel so tired right now, but I knew that I was going to do this video because this is one of my favorite parts of the day where I get to just sit for a moment and be in reflection, be one with my practices, connect with my spirit, connect with my soul, connect with the tarot cards, okay? That is a part of my practice. Yes, this channel is called Magic in Motion. And ultimately, I want to use this channel to show you how to infuse your practice into your everyday life, even into the most mundane parts of your life, the parts that we would call mundane, okay? And to show you that there is no separation between your life, your physical life, and your spiritual life. They are one and the same, okay? But there is something to be said about when you can sit in the moment and be in complete reflection with no distractions and not the need to do something. Now you may say, okay, technically I am doing something because I'm recording this video, I'm doing this video, but there is something to be said when you can sit in introspection and look at your practices, look at your spiritual practices, look at your spiritual life. Are there parts that you need to expand on? Are there parts of your spiritual practice? Maybe there's a spiritual gift that's coming through that you haven't noticed yet because you've been moving, and doing. So to take a moment for yourself, to gift yourself moments like this where it's quiet, where you have that deep introspection, that is a gift that you can give to yourself at any time, day or night, okay? Whatever time of the day. It doesn't matter. So, with that being said, I want to remind you to do that. And also know, yes, this channel is called Magic in Motion. But understand that motion, magic in motion, is also identifying that the quiet moments where you're not doing anything, that is just as effective as you taking action. Okay? So just remember that. So let's get into the card pool. I've already pulled the Emperor. And so I just took it off the top of the deck. Okay? And so if you're new here, understand that this segment for the moment, this is not necessarily a reading. This is a new deck that I am walking you through. I'm sharing how I just go through and connect with each card. Okay? So I'm doing that with you. But if you happen to take something from something that I say, something that comes up, then by all means, take it and use it. Okay? So for the Emperor, right now, I feel like this card is solid, sure. There is a quiet power that comes with this card, that comes with the Emperor. And I feel like it goes back to what I was saying at the top of this video about quiet introspection. You can have all of the spiritual gifts in the world, and you can be powerful. You can be powerful in your rituals, in your spells. You can get results. You can get fast results, and your results are consistent. Yet, it takes introspection and quiet reflection to know when to expand on those gifts, when to not perform a ritual, when to not use your gifts and to reserve them for yourself. Know when to use them. If you see a situation and you're thinking, oh, wait, I know that I can do this spell to bring resolution to that situation. Well, quiet introspection will let you know if that's something that you need to entangle your energy in. You won't know that unless you are gifting yourself regular moments of quiet introspection, of quiet reflection, inner reflection. Okay? So yes, the Emperor is powerful, but part of that power, part of being powerful and sovereign, is to know when to yield it and how. And I am not talking about power over anyone, but having, I talked about this the other day, but having power with. Knowing if there is a time where your spiritual gifts are for you. Knowing that, for example, knowing that you can do a particular working doesn't always mean that you should. And the Emperor reminds us to sit with that. Before you do anything, you sit with, is this working? Is it necessary? Is it justified? And do I lend my energy to this? Because that is what you're doing. If you don't know that by now, anytime, because what is a ritual? What is a spell? What is a spiritual working? It all involves energy. Your energy. So, making inner reflection, making these quiet moments a part of your spiritual practice is very important. And that is what I feel like the Emperor is offering us to remember in this moment, or perhaps me in this moment. Maybe this is for me. Okay? So also know that validation of your spiritual gifts does not come from the external. Know that your validation of your spiritual gifts, that also comes with you sitting in silence. Because spiritual gifts, your spiritual practice, is about embodiment. That is why a spiritual practice and your physical life are not separate. It's only separate to a person who just looks at spirituality as something to do. Your spiritual practice is an identity. It's who you are. It's who you are. So there's no thing, nothing such as you are not powerful. No such thing. And I said that kind of funny, but there's no such thing, because you are the practice. You are the spiritual practice. You are the ritual. You are the spiritual gift, because it is a part of your identity. It is who you are. Your spirituality is not what you do. It's who you are. So, yeah, again, take this session, this segment of Flow with Tarot as a reminder to carve out time for inner, I don't even want to say inner work, but just inner reflection. Perhaps you'll want to write out what your spiritual gifts are. If you haven't done that inventory, Write those things out. How do you want to move about in your spiritual gifts in a more elevated way? Is there a part of your spirituality that you have pushed to the side? So, for example, if there is a psychic ability that you know is trying to come in and you've pushed it to the side, how can you begin to develop that psychic ability in an easeful way, in a fun way, not as a chore, but in an easeful way, in a way that's not resistant, in a way that allows you to still be functional in your life, to move with your life, not to be separate from it. I know I keep saying that, but your gifts are not separate from your life. So how can you begin to really develop that psychic gift or whatever the spiritual gift is in the way, in what you have going on in your life right now? And that takes silent reflection, silent moments to ask those questions. All right. So thank you to the Emperor. I like that. Yeah. All right. So let me know what your takeaways are. And we're getting down on the stack. I don't know how many cards we have left. Maybe 40? Or we have 40 episodes in Flow with Tarot? I don't know. But see, that stack is getting thin. All right. Thank you for following this segment with me. And let me know what your takeaways are. Also, make sure that you're watching my other videos on this channel, okay? And leave me a comment and let me know if there is a topic that's relevant, right? A relevant topic, or maybe there's a challenge that you're noticing that's coming up in perhaps your practice or your spiritual life, or perhaps you are moving out of religion, have moved out of religion, and you have this desire to start developing your own practices. Let me know if you would like for me to elaborate on how you do that, and I would be happy to share from my experience how I did that for myself and how I continue to do it, okay? Because your practice evolves, it grows. It's not meant to be stagnant at all. That's religious programming. We don't do that over here. Your spiritual practice evolves. So let me know if you want some assistance with that, some support with that, and I would be happy to do some videos regarding that topic. Okay? All right. Until next time, stay magical.